You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly show for video games, movies, TV shows, comics, tech news, and more. Sponsored in part by MB Subculture Comics and Costumes. Now your hosts, Cody Pinnick, Samantha Cross, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that is now going to be broadcast in Simlish from this point on. Shaboinga blip, gagonga play. I'm Cody.
I'm Sam.
Bawana ana aidewa.
That was much better than mine.
That was way better. Yeah. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in this week. We have a great show for you. A bunch of news to go over, but first, let's talk about some things we have been checking out.
Check it out!
Matanki.
That's the closest thing to Simlish I have on this board.
Sam, you're not going to give us a little bit of that Simlish? You're not going to give us a taste?
Oingo Boingo.
That is a band.
That's a band, I know.
That's a JoJo reference.
All right.
Hanga Gooba, Flabberday. That's much better.
That's much better.
It just took me a couple tries.
Well, I was going to say something about reticulating splines.
Yeah, that's SimCity.
That's The Sims too. It's on the little
That's
bottom
true.
like loading thing.
thing.
Yeah.
SimCity 2000 actually said it though.
Oh, really?
It did. I used to play SimCity 2000 all the time.
Yes. Me too.
Didn't one of the Sims games have like connectivity with one of the SimCity games where you can build the town layout based on your SimCity or something like that?
I think it was planned. There was a game planned called Simsville that was kind of the bridge between the two.
Oh, yeah.
And it got canceled.
Gotcha. Okay, because I remember that always being kind of a thing. Like they must have like announced it or something, or had an ad for it, and then it just never. I don't know.
I don't remember if that was like maybe like one of the console Sims with one of the console SimCities back when they used to do those, or if it was back during like Sims 3. I don't know.
There was a couple of spin-off games that connected to SimCity 2000. There was that Streets of SimCity.
Oh, yeah.
That let you do car combat in your SimCities.
Nice.
And there was also Simcopter that let you fly a helicopter in your cities.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because I remember
That's
that. Because
cool.
I remember in SimCity 2000, you could take a tour through your town on street level.
Nice. All right, so hey, let's talk about some things we've been doing the last week or so.
That are not Maxis related.
That are not, yeah. I mean, we could talk about Will Wright and his wonderful spores for as long as we want, but hello there, Gov.
I love that Monster Rector. They give him a British accent.
He's definitely not British.
He's not a British man.
Hello, I'm Will Wright. Welcome to me, beautiful spores.
He just seems like maybe he would be.
He seems like he would be, yeah.
He's one of those kinds like when you're growing up that like instead of people like being like a Japanophile, they were like a British file.
Yeah. There is a word for an Anglophile.
Anglophile, yeah. He's having his buttered toast sandwiches.
With baked beans.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Monaloo is the British one.
Yes, he's the British one. Yeah. All right, so talking about things we've been doing. So this one actually kind of rolls back a couple weeks for me, but I went to the Ren Fair, the Renaissance Festival for the first time since I was in high school, junior high maybe. It's been like maybe 20 years since I've been to the Renaissance Festival.
Oh man, it was like that's a whole new experience for you.
It is. It was a completely different. It just seemed like a little town instead of a bunch of tents set up in the middle of a field like it was back then. To be honest, I don't remember much of the Ren Fair the last time I had been, but this time, super fun.
It has changed hands twice since then.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. The only other thing about the Ren Fair I remember is there for a while, George Lowe, the voice of Space Ghost from Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Yes, the Ohio Renaissance Festival, because he could never pronounce things correctly.
Which just adds to his character.
It does. Yeah, but no, it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was 90% shops.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I prevented myself from getting a sword and shield. But boy, was I thinking about it.
Yeah, it's always a tough time to not spend too much money at the Ren Fair.
Yeah. Like Jordan and I both. We didn't dress up full-blown Ren Fair garb, but I had like a tunic that had like the strings and stuff. And
a peasant shirt is what they call that.
Shirt, okay, yeah. And Jordan had an old-timey dress-looking thing, which was cool. I mean, it was something that you could wear out and not
look like a total weirdo.
like a weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah, not like when I go into the gas station in LARP gear.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
yeah.
Or when we go to the gas station dressed as Star Trek, Starfleet officers.
That was fun. That was a good time.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was a while. Yeah.
Yeah, Samantha and I were talking about going and dressing as hobbits.
Oh, that would be cool.
But every time that we both had time off for it, it would rain. And
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
well, I guess we're not going now.
Yeah, that seems kind of miserable to walk around that place in the rain.
Yeah.
We ended up going on Highlander weekend, so there are a lot of kilts.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of kilts.
I mean, there's a lot of kilts. Here's the thing: even though they have Highland weekend and Pirate weekend, every time you go, no matter what weekend it is, you're going to find a lot of kilts and a lot of pirates.
Yeah, we saw a lot of kilts, a lot of pirates.
Last time we went, it was romance weekend, and I saw Mandalorian.
Oh, nice. Nice. We almost went to Time Traveler weekend. We thought, oh, that might be fun, seeing a million Doctor Who's and Star Treks wandering around. Jordan and I briefly considered dressing up like Bill and Ted
Oh, that would have been great.
on Time Traveler weekend. Hello there, medieval dudes.
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
have been great. Next year for sure. But no, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love going. I used to go every year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I didn't go last year because reasons.
Yeah, yeah. Did they even have it last year, or did they?
They did not.
They officially canceled the actual fair, but they had limited weekend engagements that were like half the fairground
Oh, okay.
with limited ticket space, which I thought was really stupid. I'm still disappointed in them for doing it because I fully supported them going, okay, we're closing for the safety of our staff and our patrons
Right.
and everything. And I'm like, oh, cool, good on you, good on you. But then they did that, and I was like, during that time, and I was like, it's a half measure.
It was about a 50-50 split of people in masks while we were there. A lot of plague masks, which fitting,
yeah.
of course. Yeah. But no, it was a lot of fun. Didn't get a turkey on a giant turkey leg.
I've never liked them.
I don't care for them much. I did get meat on a stick. What is that? The
Steak on a stick.
steak on a
steak
steak.
on a stick. That was pretty good. That was
I don't know. I've only tried that once, and the one time I tried it, it wasn't very good.
yeah. Well, it tasted like 90% cumin, and it fell off the stick while I was eating it. I ended up had a giant yellow stain in my beard for the remainder of the day because it was just nothing but grease. Yeah,
I really enjoy the bread bowls.
a lot of people.
But the line for the bread bowl is always stupid long.
That's why we didn't get it.
I don't like eating meat off the bone. I don't know. I'm a wuss in that way, I guess.
You a nuggy boy.
Yeah, I'm a real nuggy boy. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
More times than not, I'll get a boneless wing instead of a bone-in wing. But
It's less work.
Yeah, I
it's
just
a
want
lot
to
less
shove
work.
stuff in my face.
yeah, I agree.
I just consume things like Kirby.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, did you watch the Joust?
Did not watch the joust. We didn't really get a chance to watch a whole lot of the things. We
You
just
gotta watch
really
the
just kind of
joust.
walked around.
Especially since in years ago they were stage joust, but they've since gone away from that. Now it's actually full contact
Yeah.
competition
Nice.
jousting.
Nice.
It's rad. Like,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
There was one year there was like a double and there's been a couple years like a double and horsings, and it was like amazing. Plus, now that they have the premium seating where you can sit like under the awning wooden area with
Oh, nice.
With the king and queen.
yeah, well, just the queen.
The queen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And you get like a soda and a little pennant to wave, like for the whatever side you're supposed to be waiting for.
Oh, fantastic.
It's like a little miniature medieval times style experience.
yeah,
That's cool.
Except it's real.
yeah. And
There's no falconry.
yeah, there was one year there was like this female jouster, and she was just kicking butt all over the place. It was great.
That's awesome. That's super great.
Yeah, go back and watch the joust. It's
I will
the best part.
next year. I think it's going to become a yearly thing. And yeah.
Like I remember
Well.
back when they didn't use that big pirate ship for anything, and now it's a awesome, cool pirate show with like where they shoot the cannons off and stuff.
Yeah, we heard the cannons and stuff like that. There's like some acrobat show.
The kamikaze fireflies.
The kamikaze fireflies. Yes.
They're always really good. I always liked there's these
Shanghai Suicide Squad. That's an Upright Citizens reference for 3 people.
2 of which are in this room.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys went, and I'm glad you had a good time.
That was a really good time. All right, so you guys, what have you guys been doing?
I've been reading a book. Like a book.
Congratulations.
I know.
All right.
I haven't picked one up in
All
forever.
right, brainy boy with your smarty smarts and your book learning.
I mean, if that book learning involves, poking around in dark caves and finding magic rings.
Is it The Hobbit?
Yeah.
Did you read
Oh,
The
nice.
Hobbit?
Okay.
I'm reading The Hobbit.
Oh, fantastic.
Is
Is this a reread for you, or is it a first time?
It's been a really, really long time since I actually read The Hobbit.
Ah, gotcha.
I haven't read The Hobbit since, I don't know, I think that PS2 game came out.
That doesn't count as the book. No.
No.
I know, I'm
when
kidding.
I worked for GameStop, the pre-order bonus for pre-ordering this Hobbit game was a copy of the book,
Fair enough.
which I don't have that copy anymore for some reason. But I had some copies I got from Half Price Books 100 years ago.
Sierra presents the J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, the book of the video game.
I want to say it came out either right after the Lord of the Rings movie started coming out or right before, because it's not connected to the movie franchise at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I actually kind of forgot how much I actually enjoy the book and all the weird little songs that Tolkien kind of wrote into the story. Like when I watched the Hobbit movie, I was like, did they make this up? Or is this actually in the book? And yeah, the song the dwarves sing about chipping the plates and blending the knives.
Yes. Yes, when they come, the beginning part.
And
yeah.
then
That's so good in the movie.
It's
yeah.
probably the only part of the movie I liked.
Yeah, one thing about the movie is I did not enjoy how the dwarves looked.
Yeah?
Some of them, yeah, but others no. Like Thorin,
Did it hit a little too close to home?
no,
No, some of them are too handsome.
or barely have a beard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Thorin Oakenshield did not have a beard,
No,
did
he didn't. No, not really. He had really short. He had a Cody beard.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What's that supposed to mean?
No, it was a short
It's a
beard.
short beard, yeah.
A lot of them just look too pretty boy to be dwarves.
Philly, Killy, Thorin. The only ones that really looked like dwarves were Balin, Dwalin, Bomber, with his giant braided orange beard.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But no, the book's pretty good. The description of I always forgot the description of Gollum, and it was ooh, he sounds even creepier in the book. And he kind of was, because they talk about how bad he wanted to eat Bilbo. He wanted to sneak up on him and choke him.
What is that monster that people can't decide, and even Tolkien scholars can't decide if it has wings or not?
The Balrog?
It might be the Balrog. But I forget where I heard about it at, but it's been a long-going debate whether or not this creature has wings, because it's described as having and not having them.
Well, I'll let you know when I get to the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I could tell you right now, he does have boxing gloves.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter Balrog.
Or claws if you're in Japan.
Yeah.
Really? That's his name?
So, yeah.
His name's Vega.
Yeah, in Japan, so for whatever reason, well, I know the reason. His name's
not Vega.
3 out of the 4 main villains of Street Fighter 2 had their names shifted one over in the translation from Japan to America. The boxer, and this is why in fighting game communities they call him boxer, claw, and dictator, because that way there's no confusion. In Japan, Balrog the boxer is M. Bison, short for Mike Bison. And they changed it because Mike Tyson was
would sue the crap
out of him. So it was Mike Bison as the boxer, Balrog as the claw man, and Vega as the dictator.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. And it stands to this day. They have not in Japan. If you play over there, it's under different names.
Huh.
And they're the only ones that have different names.
That's weird, because
over there compared to here.
Huh. Because I remember watching, the anime movie of Street Fighter 2, and they called Vega.
Because it was developed for an American audience primarily.
Ah. Okay.
They just went into the code and they added one on each of their names, so it rotated. Around.
yeah. And they couldn't do that with Sagat because Sagat was already the main and final boss of Street Fighter 1. Yeah.
Okay.
The more you know.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, Balrog the boxer.
Yep.
See, where am I?
Always about his fight money.
Where am I at in the book? Oh, I just got through Bilbo finding the ring, doing the riddle challenge with Gollum, and they just got saved by the eagles from the forest fire.
He's riddled with Gollum. Dun, dun, dun.
Bilbo.
He battled a troll.
Dun, dun, dun.
I've never read it all the way through. I've read about half of it.
You know, it's not as dry as I remember it.
It was assigned reading for my children's literature class in college, which was a great class, but I only read about half of it.
Yeah, I've never read Tolkien. I tried reading The Fellowship of the Rings once, and boy, does Tolkien like describing landscapes, and I got bored.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad in The Hobbit.
Okay.
But now it could be worse, though. It could be the Silmarillion, which reads
The
like
Silmarillion, it's
a history textbook / Bible.
Yeah, I would never in a million years.
But no, I'm enjoying the book.
Good.
I kind of forgot how much I liked reading.
Oh yeah, it's a good time.
But then, like, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm like picturing all the movie stuff in my head.
Oh yeah, yeah. You get that sometimes when movies do kind of ruin books a little bit. Like I always had a different interpretation of things from the Harry Potter books that now the movies have 100% colored over.
Oh yeah, it's always Daniel Radcliffe now.
It's always Daniel Radcliffe. His hair isn't that unkempt.
Oh yeah, he was always a real dumpy boy in my head.
It's Hermione, the correct way of saying it, instead of Hermione, the way that I thought it was pronounced.
When I read the book originally, when I was a kid, it was Hermione, because I had never seen that.
Hermione. She's Italian.
Hermione Granger.
I don't know. I was young. I was like, I've never seen
Bring
this
me the
name
pizza
before.
pasta.
It's pizza pasta, not pizza pasta.
Yes, there it is.
That's a good one.
That's the one.
But also, like in the
That's
book,
one.
when they talk about how Snape has like a hooked nose and a beard.
Yeah, in the book, Snape looks more like the headmaster for the Russian group from the fifth movie.
Yeah.
Fourth or fifth movie.
Yeah, with Victor Crumb and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things, you just can't go back to it and not picture that version.
Yeah.
And
I never particularly liked the movie's version of things either.
No, they seemed kind of like the least common denominator.
But they've
everything.
seeped so hard into public pop culture.
Yeah, you have no choice but to think of the movies.
Anyway, what's yours?
Samantha and I have been doing the 31 for 31 again.
I was gonna say, it's about that time.
It's your spooky season time.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about all of them because
a lot of them suck.
Yeah, there's been a couple misses.
Okay,
but I will talk about the ones I can remember.
Fair, that's fair.
Our first big one was Slaxx, with 2 X's at the end.
Okay,
which is a movie about a pair of jeans that kills people.
Nice.
Which
that's like some straight up like Thanksgiving or tire.
That's what it sounds like, but
Deathbed,
actually,
the bed that eats.
Yeah, or like Evil Bong or whatever.
Evil Bong, yeah.
But it's actually a lot better than it sounds and a lot more well produced than you would think.
Huh?
Do the Slaxx like eat you from like?
Yeah, from like the opening on
waist.
The top.
Yeah,
that's kind of like anthropomorphized as a mouth, and then the two butt pockets are kind of like the eyes, and they open and they articulate like eyes. And the special effects aren't bad. That's
awesome.
They show at the end they green screened a guy like moving the pants around, and it looks pretty good. I didn't even realize it was like that practical of an effect. But
that's awesome.
It was, and I mean, there's not a whole lot to analyze
about
the movie about the killer pants.
Killer jeans.
But it does have it's like a big like fair trade GMO free clothing store that turns out that they outsource all of their like cotton crops and everything to India, and a mishap there made evil jeans happen.
I like it.
Yeah, I won't spoil it, but it does have like kind of a message and is actually like doing something more than jeans kill you the movie.
That sounds great. Although I would take Jeans Kill You the movie.
It's still also Jeans Kill You the movie. It's still a good time. I would wholeheartedly recommend it.
Awesome.
I was surprised with how legitimately good it was.
I never thought you'd get a sequel to that Wallace and Gromit.
The wrong trousers.
Yep.
These are the very wrong trousers.
The wrongest trousers.
Yeah.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Killing Pants.
Oh, that movie would be over so quickly.
And then, I mean, the pants do attack a YouTube influencer, so that was kind of fun.
Of course,
to see.
sure.
I mean, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And there's
Sips coffee. Good for her.
Good for her. There's some fun kills in there, like the pants that split somebody at the waist.
Sure.
I feel like that would be most of them.
Well, I mean, like, you know, the pants are more ambulatory later in the film, so it's less about them having to be worn later.
Fair.
I just imagine like it like wrapping like legs around people's like necks and like
Yep, that happens.
choking them.
There's a pants dance scene where the pants dance.
Oh, it's dancing pants.
Dancing pants.
Nice.
At one point, the pants put themselves on a mannequin, so you get like a creepy mannequin with walking pants.
Oh, nice.
Which looks pretty cool.
That's a good. That's a cool effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said a lot of it was practical.
Yes.
Fantastic.
It's on Shudder.
Okay.
100% recommend.
Cool.
And we also watched Witchboard, which is an 80s movie about a Ouija board that has
the Ouija board.
Yes. That has Tawny Katane. Is that how you pronounce her
Tawny
name?
Katane, yeah.
Yeah, the girl from the music videos.
Yep.
Which one is that?
White Snake.
White Snake, yeah.
I don't even have to think about that one.
And it was dumb and stupid and dumb.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like she gets like possessed by a Ouija board monster and like people die and not as good as the Evil Pants movie. I'm struggling to remember anything interesting about it.
Oh, well, I mean, you said Tawny Katane, so you said the interesting thing about it.
That is the interesting thing about it.
I think you pretty much hit all the high points of that movie.
Yeah.
There's some like weird ADR voices that come out of nowhere in a couple scenes that are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like they're about to try the Ouija board for the first time, and then she's like, "I don't know, I don't want to do it." And you hear somebody in the crowd just go, "Oh no!" It just like seems so weird and out of place that it made me laugh out loud.
No.
Oh no, come on!
It's the demon in the corner.
Yeah.
No, use it.
And like the guy that brought that Ouija board to the party is like such a like weirdo, like that it doesn't make sense. It's like nobody would be this weird. And also, who brings a Ouija board to a party?
Who would invite this guy to the party?
Yeah, exactly. And like he's just so forward with everything about his Ouija board, like he was waiting just for somebody to ask him about his Ouija board. He's like the guy at the party that brings his guitar.
I was just going to say, brings a guitar waiting for someone to say, hey, is that a guitar?
Yeah, but instead it's a Ouija board, and he wants to tell you about the small child Daniel that he communicates to with it. He's a grown adult man.
Oh, God. Wow.
I mean, it's pretty funny, but it also felt pretty long.
Yeah.
Long in the tooth.
Yeah.
Like the point where you're just like sitting on the couch, you're like, can we change it yet? Sorry, not to step on your toes, but I just remembered something else I watched.
Yeah.
Chicago Party Ant.
Oh no!
On
Why?
on Netflix.
I watched the blip that Netflix does when you hover over it, and I said no.
I mean, it's basically like kind of like
okay.
Yeah.
I know what this is now. For a second, I was like, why are the ants partying? Like, I was thinking of the tiny bug.
Aunt.
Like it's a Bug's Life sequel.
Yeah, but no, I know what you're talking about, and it looks gross. I don't want to try it.
It's actually not that gross.
Or
like
just dumb.
It gets kind of dumb. But also it's the voice of Scorpia from
and she's also Dina on Superstore, and I can't remember what her name is, but she is really funny.
Yeah. But it's this aunt who is, she used to like be a big partier back in the day, and her whole personality is the city of Chicago.
Oh yeah,
I figured you'd like it.
I do like Chicago.
Like there's a point where like the 85 Bears and Mike Ditka show up, and she loses her mind.
Okay, all right, that's a good gag. That's a good one.
Hey, Deep Pizza, the Bean.
Yeah. It's pretty much like she hits all the high points of Chicago.
I love a good deep dish pizza.
You would.
If I had to choose the medium, like the halfway point between the two, I'll take
a Midwest pizza.
a Midwest pizza. But if I had to choose between the extremes, deep dish over cracker thin every day of the week. I don't want to eat crackers with sauce on it.
Have you had one of the pizzas they have at the Marcus?
No.
Oh my God, they're so thin. It's awful.
Oh, that sounds
It
gross.
tastes like saltines with pizza toppings on it.
That sounds terrible.
We're getting no sponsorships from Greg Marcus, but their pizza is bad.
Well,
I like a thinner pizza. That's my.
I like them thick with 2 C's.
That episode of Samurai Jack when Aku orders a
Extra
pizza.
thick. No, I do like a Columbus style, but which is Donato's.
Donato's.
But
Yeah, I like Donato's.
That's
but-
considered Columbus style pizza.
Oh, really? See, I've never heard that.
Yep.
I was just kind of thought it was like a thicker, thin crust.
Yeah, it's cut in the squares. Donato's-esque is Columbus style.
Interesting.
Huh.
Interesting.
I forget where I read that, but I swear I read it somewhere. I'm not just making it up. There's Detroit style too, which is kind of a deep dish, but not like Chicago style deep dish.
Where you're
Detroit style, it's covered in garbage, and RoboCop has to come and
And there's a gun that's baked inside.
blow it up.
and shoot it in its pepperonis.
Yes. There it is. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We're going to play a couple ads for a couple of shows, and then we will be right back.
Nerd Overload is sponsored in part by MB Subculture Comics and Costumes. MB Subculture is the one-stop shop for all your geeky needs, from comics and collectibles to unique custom costumes, masks, makeup, and more. MB Subculture is located at 122 West Rensselaer Street in downtown Bucyrus, 567-806-5364, and online at subcultureoh.com.
Hello, I'm Ben Vaughn, the host of The Many Moods of Ben Vaughn, heard every Saturday night at 8 p.m. here on WZMO 104.7 FM. We span many decades, many styles, and many moods on my show. So tune in to The Many Moods of Ben Vaughn every Saturday night at 8 p.m. See you then.
Hello, I'm Greg Dunham, the host of Long Play here on WZMO. I just wanted to take a minute to assure our many fans and listeners that my staff and I take our job seriously here at WZMO. We will always strive to bring only the highest quality audio entertainment to you and yours. Who am I kidding? We just grab whatever album's on top of the stack. Join us every Friday at 11 p.m. and Saturday at 3 p.m. for Long Play. Tune in to see what we've come up with this week. Catch us every weekend right here on WZMO.
All right, we are back from the break. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit of this news.
Gosh.
The classic goofy scream. Sometime we're gonna have to swap the jingles for news and check it out and see if anybody knows.
We're gonna just flip flop them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if we get an email that week.
On Poipus.
Wait a minute, did you say porpoise?
That seems shorter than usual. Did you cut it down?
I cut it down.
Good. It probably needed cut down.
It needed cut down.
Cut it down.
cut
It needed
it
cut it
down.
down.
Yep. Anyway, let's talk about some stuff. The first one, the big news, the one that ties into.
Speaking of cutting, we got a new anime sword boy in Smash
We sure
Brothers.
do. It's the final Smash Brothers Ultimate character, and it's a Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Which is fitting. He deserves the spot. There's just other things I have issue with.
Yeah. So Sora, for folks who don't know, is the main protagonist of Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is a joint venture between Square Enix, the makers of Final Fantasy, and Disney, the makers of
Disney.
The
makers of everything else.
Yeah, pretty much. And what it is, it's basically an action RPG where an anime sword boy goes around with Donald and Goofy
To Disneyland.
to Disneyland's, and also they fight a guy who turned into a boat one time.
They fought the King of Hyrule?
No. It's a running gag.
That's the Wind Waker riff.
No, it's Ansem. There's a whole thing where they said, you have a climactic battle where you press X over and over. One guy turns into a boat. Anyway, Sora is into the Smash Brothers as the final character, and it is amazing that they were able to jump through the legal hurdles necessary to get the character into the game at all. Like, I never thought that would actually happen, because not only would they be trying to get, because Nintendo doesn't have the rights to any of these characters.
No.
So they would have to get a hold of Square Enix. They would have to go through Disney.
Which are both kind of difficult to deal with.
They're both, but both together.
Yeah.
I mean, the door was already open for Square because they already have Sephiroth and Cloud.
Yeah, but Cloud, even like in the initial version of Smash, there was like 3 songs.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff was missing for Cloud, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Compared to other characters.
And surprise, surprise, a lot of things seem missing for Sora.
A lot of things.
He seems first off, again, I'm not upset. We were making jokes when the Nintendo Direct or the Smash Direct came out on Tuesday. Ultimately, I'm not upset about this choice. I think the character does have
a place.
Because Smash Brothers, it's gone beyond just being a fighting game about characters, and it's almost like the video game awards, kind of like if
these
you're
icons of gaming.
Yeah, you're a big enough character to fit into Smash Brothers,
and Sora, or a representative from Kingdom Hearts, it should be there. But yeah, the character seems very simple, which was a deliberate choice by Sakurai. He said that the last couple of DLC characters have been kind of difficult for people to pick up, and he wanted to make this last one another simple, like anyone can.
After the nightmare that was Steve. That character was just a nightmare. But no, he was.
He may be simple, but he's definitely not clean.
Oh, he's too clean. They scrubbed some spots away from him. The big thing that is missing is they have removed any and all mentions of Disney.
Except for the Mickey Mouse.
Except for one tiny Mickey Mouse on his keychain, which you're not going to be able to see during gameplay anyway. But yeah, they've removed every single reference to anything. I mean, he's barely has anything to do with Kingdom Hearts, really. It's just the character model.
Yeah, and like, you never, in any other time ever, you never see Sora without Donald and Goofy.
Yeah.
They are
the 3 amigos.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just kind of a bummer that not even his final Smash, which you would think they would at least pop up.
That's what I thought they were going to do. I
And
100% thought that Donald and Goofy were going to be part of the final Smash.
And it just not there.
That Smash is super boring.
Oh, yeah, it is.
But on top of that, every move he has is super boring.
Well, that's what happens when you make things simple. You make them standard, and they just kind of boring.
His special stage is really boring.
It's one of those ones where it flies around while there's stuff in the background, and I hate those.
Yeah.
And it's just a flat stage with one platform.
Yeah.
It's not a gimmick stage, which normally I would be like, oh man, gimmick stages in fighting games, no thank you. But like in Smash, yes, give me all of the gimmicks.
Especially if they were allowed to use Disney stuff. A fly around different places stage would be really cool in that situation.
Have a fly around go to Agrabah.
Yeah.
And
have the stage is the gummy ship.
Yeah.
You're flying around these different worlds. Like, it would be so perfect and cool. Yeah. It's right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, and like, but the only good thing I could say about Sora and Smash, I mean, they did get a handful of the really more Final Fantasy leaning Kingdom Hearts music. His aerial recovery is pretty decent.
It makes sense that the character Sora, whose name means sky, is primarily an aerial fighter, and he can basically jump from the right at the death line on the bottom of the screen and make it back onto a stage, basically wherever he's at.
And to be fair, him fighting looks a lot like how he fights in the game. They pretty much nailed the look of Kingdom Hearts fighting.
When you mash that square button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's what you do.
Yep.
I mean, if I'm not wrong, I mean, that's how I played the game.
It's not like a combo heavy system.
No, I'm okay with this pick. I am just a little bummed that we're getting maybe 60-65% of the character in the game.
Yeah.
If that, really.
And it sucks because it's not their fault.
It's not.
Like, yeah, it's not Sakurai's fault. He did the best he could.
The fact that they were able to get the character into the game in the first place is a monumental achievement, so I don't want to take that away from them. But yeah, it just rings a little hollow. A little bit.
A little hollow bastion.
If
you will.
Good joke.
And I wish it was a Doom Slayer.
Yeah.
Who did get a Mii costume.
Sora should have been the Mii character, and Doom Slayer should have been the full character.
Sora's costume could have easily been Sword Me.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely, yeah.
Doom Slayer could have did a lot of cool stuff. They gave him so many different moves he could do in the last Doom game. They gave him a sword. He can fly. He can jet around a little bit, which would be perfect.
But also, that soundtrack is fire.
Oh yeah, they could have put some of the Doom songs in Smash, and they're real good.
Get some real heavy metal in Smash.
But
that'd be the best.
Japan typically they don't go much for first-person shooters, do they?
No.
So that's just it. If this were a joint Japan-US development team, Doom Slayer would have made it in.
Yeah, he doesn't have the cachet in Japan, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Even though Doom is one of the biggest video games of all time in America.
And one of the staples of the shooting genre.
Yeah.
I also think the people that are kind of upset that Waluigi didn't make it in, if Waluigi and for that matter, if Shovel Knight were not already assist trophies, they would have been included as playable characters instead of some of the other choices from this DLC set. I know people like Xenoblade Saga.
I'm just glad it wasn't the boy.
Oh yeah, that would have been a bummer.
Yeah, because he sucks. His design is real bad.
It was bad.
The boy from
Xenoblade
Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Weird anime deep sea diver boy.
Or no, is it Xenoblade? No, Xenoblade Chronicles. No, it is 2.
2.
The second one, the
first one is Shulk. He's really feeling it.
Yeah, the first one is just Xenoblade Chronicles, and then there's Xenoblade Chronicles X, and then there's Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Oh man,
it's a real Bravely Default situation.
Yeah, but no, there is not a universe in which those characters would have been included into the game.
If they weren't so big in Japan.
Well, no, I mean, if Shovel Knight weren't a assist trophy already, Shovel Knight would have made it onto the roster as a playable character, and I bet they would have taken up a place of someone like Pyra and Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicle 2.
I still think Waluigi is a bad choice.
He's not. He's kind of a bad choice, but he's the only. It's weird that he is the only
Nintendo character
outside of. It's Waluigi and Toad are the only two major Nintendo cast that didn't make it in.
I don't think they ever should have put Daisy in either.
Oh, I agree.
I feel like Daisy could have been costume select for Peach.
Yeah, it could just be a different color Peach dress.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's some people who really like Daisy, and I don't get it. It's weird. She's fine. But there's some people on the Twitters that are just obsessed with her.
Well,
and I don't get it.
Well, that's the Twitters.
Princess Peach is barely a character, and Daisy even less so.
I liked it back when Daisy was tomboy.
Yeah, the spunky tomboy, but
they've reverted that. They've rolled it back.
She's just Orange Princess.
Yeah. Well, all the Mario. Why was I going to say Mario?
all the
Mario characters have kind of had a sander taken to them recently. It feels like they have a lot less edge.
It's Mario and Luigi and
Louis Ouija,
Princess Paunch,
Petch,
Princess Petch. Yes,
Shadow the Plumber. I don't know, for some reason that joke just popped in my head and I wanted it.
The sports games and stuff, their victory animations and that kind of stuff just seem really tame as of
generic.
late. Yeah, really generic.
Yeah. All right, so hey, we have some other news here to roll through, and I'm going to let you guys take a pick. Where do you want to go?
How do you feel about boats and Legos?
I mean, I'm not opposed.
I mean, I had a lot of the pirate set when I was a kid. The good pirate set from like the late
the
80s.
classic one. Yeah.
The Black Seas Barracuda.
Yeah. I loved that. Was like the best Christmas ever.
Well, this boat doesn't have pirates, but it does sink. It's the Titanic. They made a Lego Titanic, and it is gigantic.
Yeah, it's like 9,000 pieces or something
Yeah,
like that.
it's literally the largest Lego set ever produced, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure I read that it was.
I'm gonna look at that Millennium Falcon because I feel like that Millennium Falcon.
It's at least the
No.
longest.
I
don't
there's
know,
a Death
man.
Star that's bigger than that Millennium Falcon.
There's the Super Star Destroyer, which was like 5 feet long. This
one's about 5 foot.
There's the new Star Destroyer, which is pretty big. There's the Shield hover carrier, that's pretty big.
Oh yeah. Oh, can you imagine if they ever did a Lego USS Flag from G.I. Joe?
Oh wow! And be able to put like a full size Lego jet on it.
That would be like 10 feet long. Take up your
That toy
entire
was
room.
That toy was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It seems like something that should have never existed.
Yeah. It's like a lot of wasted plastic. But anyway, yeah, this it looks really, really well done. It's kind of on there. It's not like a play set level of Lego set. It's part of their like architecture, like
It's the adult line.
the adult line for like modeling and display, and it's fantastic. But what was the price on it?
$629.
That is a lot of money for a Lego set. I don't care how big and long it is. $600 is a lot of money.
There's no denying its girth.
Yeah, this is the biggest ever kit.
Yeah, I just looked up the Falcon, which the Falcon was like $800.
That's got that. They got that licensing fee, the Star Wars tax.
Yeah, but it was like 7,500 pieces.
Part of me kind of wants this big boat for no reason, just because it's a big Lego boat, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna buy it.
I'm not either. I'll wait for people on Instagram, the Lego people that I follow on Instagram, to get it, and then turn all of the parts into big robot.
I want transforming Titanic. It goes from the boat to a big robot.
Yeah, its weakness is ice.
If Titanic was a Pokemon.
Yeah, it would. If the Titanic were a Pokemon,
Ice would be super effective.
Ice. Yes. It's a terrible joke, and it's probably going to be the episode title.
No, do the joke you did off air about the iceberg.
Oh yeah, no, the Lego set needs a companion iceberg Lego set to go along with it.
Yes,
it's all those clear and white pieces.
Yeah, it'd be a nightmare to put together.
But it's got one of those little ice spacemen with the orange
with
neon
the orange
chainsaw.
visor.
He's on there.
Yeah,
he's trying best he can, but it's not gonna happen.
Oh,
I wonder if the Titanic comes with the band that syncs with it.
Oh,
I don't think does it have any minifig? It probably doesn't have any.
No,
it's just a mod.
display.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those Lego architecture pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I applaud these Lego for adult sets. They're pretty cool.
They're neat.
I got the bonsai.
Oh, you
and
did.
I put
I've been
that
looking
together.
at that one. Yeah,
It was fun to build, and
awesome.
I enjoyed it.
I've been meaning to get the ship in a bottle.
that would be a good one too.
Yeah.
I've heard, like, as cool as it is a little lack because some of the piece count is just the water.
Oh, the singular
water pegs that are
Pegs.
in the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah.
The thing I liked about the bonsai is the gravel that it's sitting in is just loose bricks.
Oh,
It
really?
comes with a bunch of little like one peg
Interesting.
colored round pieces.
That's what the ship in the bottle ones
Yeah,
are like.
you just dump them in the tray, and
that's
it's like a
kind of
Lego
awesome.
Zen garden in there.
That's cool. Yeah, I might have to pick that one up. That sounds pretty awesome.
I'm just hearing the sound like when you blow stuff up in the Lego games.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, hey, next thing we're going to talk about, actually, I'm going to skip over one here. So, have you guys heard
The
about
Muffin Man?
About the bird.
Papa Umau Mau, Papa Umau Mau? No, have you heard about the Twitch leak?
Yes, it's nuts.
It's a crazy one. What was this? Wednesday? I think it was Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Someone
or
was
some
able
people
to get into the entirety of the Twitch streaming services back end and uploaded over 128 gigs of data.
It's nuts how much
It's
stuff
crazy.
they got.
It's crazy. They got everything. They somehow got everything, including creator payouts for the last month And for the last year,
which really sucks if you're one of those creators and now everybody knows exactly how much money you make.
What you're making.
Which, I mean, it's not that hard to estimate it. You just take the number of subs they have by how much it costs per sub, and you can ballpark it.
Yeah, and
but
I mean,
still,
and the money, the totals that they got from it do not include gift like donations during stream. This is just from subs.
Yeah, just
Subscriptions.
just actual flat revenue.
Yeah. And some of it was pretty wild. Like, they make a lot of money, those Twitch streamers.
Critical Role
makes
an insane amount of money.
They make over $1 million. That was in the last year. They made over $1 million. But then again, they're also splitting that across like 8 on-camera creators and an entire team of other stuff. So their take home is not nearly as much as but the fact that they're making $8 million or making $1 million a year over that,
playing a game, and then
playing
they
a
also
D&D
have
game.
like their real jobs as successful voice actors on top of that.
Too. Yeah. But
And licensing deals and merch.
Oh, there's
and
so much merch. I had no idea how popular this.
well, there's
that
a whole
it was.
D&D campaign book that adds the a Shadow Knight custom thing for the warrior class. I've been wanting to pick that up just to mess around with it.
My group is playing a campaign in Wild Mount, I think it's called.
Oh yeah,
right now. So
yeah.
I don't know anything about.
You know what?
Critical Role.
It has gone on for long enough that I don't know if I can get into it.
Yeah,
because I feel like there's so much baggage with each. Like,
I mean,
it's not something you can just jump into. At this point.
It has all the trappings of any kind of fandom, both the good and the bad.
That, and I've
a
just
lot
heard,
of bad.
I've heard so much about it at this point. And it's
It just turns you off to it.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather get back into the Adventure Zone. Like,
Sure, yeah, but no, that like they make a ton of money. It's a lot of Fortnite players. There's a lot of Call of Duty players.
Oh, that stuff's always really popular to watch.
Yeah.
A lot of variety streamers that are, especially the ones that recently got around the no bathing suits on stream ruling by putting a blow up pool
it's
in their.
Still overwhelmingly men though in the top list.
It is, yes.
So the people who complain about women streaming and it being unfair, that's crap.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, the top list is still mostly men.
It's mostly dudes that play Call of Duty or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, I looked at the list and it's accurate. Nerd Overload Live
is not
now
on it.
is well, I mean, we're on it.
Oh, well, yeah, everybody is.
Everybody is. We're on it. Our revenue is 0. I have no problem saying that on air.
We don't stream that much
But
anyway.
the fact of the matter
we're
is,
streamers with integrity.
this is something that this is a news topic that we are technically a part of,
It's
guys.
true.
Technically,
It's true.
That is weird to think about.
Yeah, right. Along with this, they believe that passwords did not get breached as part of the leak,
They always
which
say
I
that.
kind of have a hard time believing, because if they were able to get this much stuff,
They had to have somebody's password.
Yeah. What I've heard reports now that if you have used the same password, if you haven't changed the same password in like the last 11 years, maybe go ahead and change it. We went ahead and changed ours. I mean, you definitely want to set up like two-factor authentication if you can, and change your password just to be on the safe side.
You do anything online, you should have two-stage authentication.
Yeah.
Like, I love when I get like a text from like from like Steam or something, like, "Hey, here's your Steam code," and I'm like, "Ha ha."
Yeah, I get that every now and then too.
I've never gotten that on my Steam account.
Really?
Never.
Huh.
And I've had a Steam account since Steam existed.
No,
I mean, same.
My PayPal caught one the other day that I'm glad I set up two-factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, especially
that's
for financial services.
That's a big deal.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
that's why people are saying, with the Twitch, a lot of people have tied their bank accounts to the Twitch so they can make easy payments to their favorite streamers.
When that's your livelihood, of course you're going to want a direct deposit on it.
Yeah, and yeah. So this was kind of a whole thing.
Yeah. I'm tired of people saying these people shouldn't get this money because it is
It's a
work.
job. listen, we have streamed enough games and we've done enough like production on our channel, as little as we've done, that I know that it is a process. It's
work. Yeah.
It's work. You would think that it's not that difficult to sit and play a video game and talk at the same time. It is.
It's a skill. It's a legitimate skill.
And there's so many overlapping skills because one, you gotta be like, have some kind of charisma.
Yeah, you got to be on the whole time.
Yep, you can't just.
There's sound editing. There's video editing. If you're into that kind of stuff or whatever,
and if you want to be good at this stuff,
just working like OBS or whatever you're using, it's not easy to set up.
Think of it this way: there used to be entire, on television, you would have an entire crew. One guy would be set for sound, one would be set for video.
These were like people's actual jobs in entertainment,
stuff like that. And when you're doing this by yourself. Like, you're
sometimes,
everything.
And you're working
a lot of times.
You're working all the technology that your local news uses. Like, you're throwing stuff up on your screen. It's not easy.
It's not. It's really not.
There are some like bigger YouTube personalities and streamers that probably have maybe a small team of people that work on things
at best.
Yeah, I mean, like there's these one YouTubers I catch every so often. Called MXR Plays. They have a very small team of people, but it's mostly just Henry and his girlfriend Jeannie do most of the stuff. But they do have like a couple other people that kind of help them out a little bit.
VTubers are doing it on their own, and they're handling a whole rig that is tracking their movement.
Right,
like, it's nuts.
Yeah. And then you got some VTubers who, like from the ground up, created their own VTuber avatar.
Yeah.
So
like
there's
animation, art skills,
and
all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, we got to move off this topic.
We're
almost at time, but we gotta cover at least a couple more things. So they're talking about doing a spin-off Marvel series based off of Agatha Harkness from the WandaVision show.
Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness in her own show.
That's fine.
Yeah, she was great on WandaVision.
She was really, really good.
Like her whole personality in that show almost reminded me of when Missy was the Master on Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yep. Like it had that same chaotic energy, and I loved it. I was all about it.
Did you hear that Missy from Doctor Who is now on the Doom Patrol series? She's playing Madame Rouge.
Oh,
of
okay.
the Brotherhood of Evil.
Yeah, what's her name?
Gomez.
Yeah,
last name's
Melissa Gomez.
Melissa Gomez.
Yeah,
that's
there we go.
Yep.
Or is it Michelle Gomez?
Michelle Gomez. That's it.
She's also on Sabrina.
Oh,
Very
right.
good on
Yes.
Sabrina.
Oh, she is. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Speaking of Sabrina is crossing over with Riverdale.
Which she is an Archie character.
Well, yeah. And Riverdale has finally gotten weird enough, from what I understand, that they can introduce Sabrina and be like, oh, okay, no, that fits.
So it's Netflix Sabrina?
Yeah.
Huh.
Which is weird because, and this is spoilers for Sabrina, but also it's pretty old at this point. She dies at the end.
I really don't care.
Well, comic books, they can bring her back.
Yeah, true.
I had such a hard time getting into that darn show.
Oh, I loved Sabrina. I never finished it, but I spoiled it for myself by accident because of this news story.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked it a lot. And like legitimately, not like in the way that you watch Riverdale because it's so
bad.
Bonkers.
Yeah. Like there's some. I heard something about Riverdale the other day. Apparently, Hiram Lodge is now some kind of like avenging ghost spirit or something, and they have like Happy Fun Dip, the super drug that's ravaging the town where Archie, where military man Archie has come back from war,
from World War I.
Kind of, yeah. It's like a weird. It's like a whole weird thing.
World War I?
Like I've seen pictures from the not pictures, but the trailer for the season, and it's a very like World War I, World War II style looking war for some reason.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing.
Maybe they thought they'd get some flack if they did a modern war.
I don't know.
It's just stylized.
It's Riverdale. It's weird.
I thought it was wild when they had a cage fight between grown man Hiram Lodge and Archie, teenage Archie.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
and nobody goes, "Hey, why is this adult man punching this child? Why are we letting this happen?"
I've never actually watched an episode with Hiram Lodge, but every time I hear about some of the crazy stuff they do with the character, all I picture is Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna get that Archie Andrews. He's gonna be in SummerSlam.
But now he's a buff Hispanic guy.
Yeah. Yo soy Hiram Lodge. Okay, last thing, and this is really just for me and Josh.
That's why I put it on.
Thank
the
you.
board.
I appreciate it.
Also, I thought it was cool too.
Yeah, it's really cool. So Hideaki Anno, the guy who created Evangelion and
Shin Godzilla,
and is currently working on Shin Ultraman, it released a first mini trailer or kind of a teaser trailer for his next upcoming reboot of classic 70s
Japanese superhero.
Yeah, Shin Kamen Rider, which is right up my alley. And it is nearly shot for shot the original intro to the 70s Kamen Rider.
To the original Kamen Rider.
It's very, very cool.
It's fantastic. They use the whole thing where they painted a backdrop on a rotating base. And had the motorcycle that Kamen Rider's sitting on stationary and rolling it just like they would have done back in the 70s to get it looking like he is
going really fast.
Yeah. And it looks really slick. The new costume looks a lot like the old costume, which I think that's
even with the giant clunky ugly belt.
I think that's going to change. Well, the belt's got to be clunky and stupid looking. That's just part of the thing. But I have a feeling this is going to be the intro to the movie, and then something's going to happen,
and you get the sleek outfit.
5 years later, and you get the sleek outfit and the clean and the newer filmmaking, that sort of thing.
It gets a new outfit that's made out of human corpses.
I wouldn't put it past them. Well, they tried to reboot Kamen Rider once before back in the 90s because it had been
Rider.
And, that's America, and that includes Furbus, and Furbus is Blight.
Yeah.
But no, they in Japan. So Kamen Rider lasted for a while, and then it was off the air for about 5 or 6 years, and they tried to bring it back in 91, 92. They started with a made-for-TV movie with the idea that Shin Kamen Rider, same name.
Literally just means new Kamen Rider.
It just means new, yeah. Would continue on to a series. Well, the movie that they made was so body horror-esque that it was not picked up for another couple of years with a different series.
The Guyver?
Yeah. So he didn't have body armor or a costume. He would literally morph body horror style into a
motorcycle Bugman.
So Kamen Rider,
and he did
not Kamen Rider. So the Guyver
is the Guyver.
So this didn't become a popular children's program.
It did not. I look it up. It's weird. It's weird, but this is not going to get that weird, but it's going to be really good because Anno does really good stuff.
Yeah.
I like Shin Godzilla. And
Shin Godzilla was kind of weird, but in a good way.
I loved Shin Godzilla.
But it was in a good way, though.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for Shin Ultraman because I love Ultraman.
Ultraman's great.
That cheesy Tokatsu.
Oh, yeah. Tokusatsu stuff. Yeah, good stuff. So let's go ahead and wrap things up for the week. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon at Nerd Overload now.
You can send us an email at staff@nerdoverload.com. Questions, comments, crossover fan fiction with Kingdom Hearts.
Why not?
And you can give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline. That's 586-372-8020. Leave us a message and we might play it on the show.
All right. You can also find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. And finally, I'd like to thank David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his stuff over at davidpencil.com. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
I'm going to go home and play Metroid.
This show was sponsored in part by MB Subculture Comics and Costumes.